Cancer arrived in my life like an uninvited guest who refused to leave quietly. It dismantled my carefully constructed plans, stripped away my illusions of control, and forced me to confront truths I had spent years avoiding. Yet in doing so, it became perhaps the most profound teacher I never wanted to meet. Before cancer, time felt infinite and forgettable. I lived in a perpetual state of someday, I'd travel to those places. Someday I'd have those important conversations. Someday I'd pursue what truly mattered. The diagnosis shattered this comfortable delusion with brutal clarity. Suddenly, every moment became precious currency, and I realized how carelessly I had been spending it. The transformation wasn't immediate. At first, the urgency felt overwhelming, almost paralyzing. How do you suddenly live fully when you're learning to navigate a world where your body has become both battlefield and home? But gradually, I began to understand that embracing the present moment wasn't about cramming a lifetime of experiences into whatever time remained. It was about finding profound meaning in the ordinary moments that had always been there, waiting for my attention. Cancer taught me that presence isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. When facing treatments that demanded everything from my body, I had no choice but to be fully where I was. The taste of water after chemotherapy became a celebration. The warmth of sunlight through a hospital window became a meditation. The sound of my loved ones' voices became a symphony I had been too busy to hear before. This forced presence revealed something extraordinary. Life's most meaningful moments aren't the grand gestures or milestone achievements we often chase. They're found in the texture of everyday experience, the way morning light falls across a familiar room, the comfort of a hand held in darkness, the simple miracle of breath moving in and out of our lungs. Perhaps the most unexpected transformation was learning that vulnerability and strength aren't opposites, they're dance partners. Cancer stripped away my armor of self-sufficiency and forced me to accept help, to show up imperfectly, to be seen in my raw state. This wasn't weakness. It was the beginning of authentic strength. I discovered that allowing others to care for me didn't diminish my worth. It multiplied it. Each act of kindness, each moment of genuine connection, became evidence that my life mattered not for what I could produce or achieve, but simply for who I was. This shift from doing to being revolutionized how I approached every relationship and every day. Before cancer, I believed I was the architect of my destiny. The diagnosis revealed this as both truth and illusion. While I couldn't control the disease, I could control my response to it. I couldn't guarantee outcomes, but I could choose how I showed up for whatever came. This paradox became liberating. Releasing the exhausting grip of trying to control everything allowed me to focus my energy on what truly mattered. I learned to surf the waves of uncertainty rather than fighting against them, finding stability not in the external world, but in my ability to remain present and responsive to whatever arose. Strangely, accepting the reality of my mortality freed me to think beyond my immediate circumstances. When you truly understand that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on petty concerns and start investing it in lasting impact. I began asking different questions. How can I contribute to something larger than myself? What legacy do I want to leave? How can my experience serve others facing similar challenges? This shift from immediate survival to purposeful living became a source of unexpected energy. The same urgency that initially felt overwhelming began to fuel a deeper sense of mission. Every day became an opportunity to make a difference, however small. Every interaction became a chance to offer the kind of presence and authenticity that cancer had taught me to value. The changes that cancer brought to my life extended far beyond my personal experience. As I learned to live more fully in the present, I noticed how this affected everyone around me. My relationships deepened because I was no longer holding back, waiting for the right moment to be genuine. My work became more meaningful because I focused on what truly mattered rather than what merely seemed urgent. Friends and family began to share that my journey had changed them too. They spoke of reassessing their own priorities, of spending more time with loved ones, of pursuing dreams they had been postponing. In the midst of my own struggle, I realized that embracing life fully, even in the face of serious illness, can become a gift to others, giving them permission to do the same. Cancer isn't a problem to be solved and forgotten. It's a teacher that continues to offer lessons. Each day brings new opportunities to practice presence, to choose gratitude over resentment, to find meaning in the midst of uncertainty. The skills I've developed, radical acceptance, deep presence, purposeful living, serve me not just in facing illness, but in navigating all of life's inevitable challenges. The journey continues to transform me, reminding me that growth often comes through our greatest difficulties. What began as the worst thing that could happen to me has become, in many ways, the catalyst for the most authentic and meaningful life I've ever lived. Cancer took away my illusions, but it gave me truth. It limited my future, but it expanded my present. It threatened my life, but it taught me how to truly live. Today, I wake up knowing that each day is both a gift and a responsibility. The acceptance of my mortality hasn't made me passive, it's made me purposeful. The embrace of the present moment hasn't made me short-sighted, it's given me clarity about what truly matters in the long term. This is the paradox of the cancer journey. In accepting our limitations, we discover our true strength. In facing our mortality, we learn to live fully. In embracing our vulnerability, we find our deepest courage. And in the midst of our greatest challenge, we often discover our greatest purpose. The journey continues. And while I wouldn't have chosen this path, I'm grateful for the transformation it has brought. Every day is an opportunity to live the lessons cancer has taught me, to be present for whatever comes, and to contribute to something larger than my own immediate concerns. In the end, perhaps this is what it means to truly live. Not just to survive, but to find meaning and purpose in every moment we're given.